Nigel, we're 9 months into yourself and Paul's tenure at Celtic. How do you feel the first 9 months have gone?
I think it's gone. I think it's gone well, Taryn. I think first off, everybody has made us feel welcome. Amazingly welcome, and I thank everybody for that, both myself and Paul. It's challenging. I think we've done some things right, and on reflection, I think we could have done some things better. But everybody, and I think without exception, is behind us, is behind the club, and wants the club to succeed. And I think that's the most amazing thing. When I thought about answering a question like this, I was going to thank A, B, and C, and D, and then I decided best not name anybody because I'll just forget somebody and they'll say, what about me? Because the list of people who have helped us and got behind us is very, very long indeed. And they know who they are, so I don't need to single them out. But, thanks, guys, for all of that. I think it's gone well. I really do. We were supposed to do this interview after the Clitheroe game, but I was too moody because I'm not allowed to mention refereeing decisions, so I won't, but I'll let everybody join the dots. I think on the pitch, we're competing. We're still in the playoffs. I'm hoping we make the playoffs. This is an incredibly competitive league, and our aim is still to make the playoffs, and we're nearly there. We're nearly there. We've had terrible run of bad luck in terms of injuries, but the team is still competing, and I'm genuinely hoping we make the playoffs. So that would be success on the pitch. In terms of success off the pitch, and these were the two things that Paul and I promised as when we took over, trying to be successful on the pitch, but also trying to be successful off the pitch. In terms of off the pitch, I think we've done an awful lot, and most people probably don't realise how much we've done behind the scenes. We've set in place strong governance structures. We brought the social club back to the club, so we opened up the bar area, and that's going remarkably well. Most recently, we've worked with the guys at Balfold Events, the hospitality venue. I'm not quite sure what to call it. We've worked with the guys at BFE, and we're going to be bringing that back into the club from 1st of July, which we've announced on the website. And how could I forget? We knocked down the social club, the old social club that had been here for many, many years. So all of that has taken time, it's taken money, it's taken effort. We've had a great deal of help from volunteers, which is fantastic. So I think we're well positioned off the pitch. I think we're well positioned on the pitch, and we need a bit of luck, and we still have lots to do. But yes, I think we've started how we've meant to, and I think we've put the club in the position we want it to be in at this point in time.
I think if you look around the ground now, there's a lot more sort of advertising boards, and we've done a lot more with the local community and local organisations. We hosted the Tameside Business Network meeting just a couple of weeks ago, but obviously there's more that we'd like to do from a commercial and sponsorship basis, isn't there?
Yes, absolutely right, Taryn. It's really important to help drive our success that we're commercially stable, the club is sustainable, and sponsorship absolutely feeds into that. So that's an area we're definitely focusing on as we move towards the next season. I have to thank our sponsors, absolutely. Fidelis stepping in as shirt sponsor at short notice, and real hats off to Rob and those guys, fantastic. Mary Gibbon, who is a fundamental part of the club architecture, sponsored as well, sponsored the stand, and Smurfit Kappa, of course, is sponsor another stand. Loads of other sponsors around the ground, and really encourage anybody who wants to be part of that to speak with us, speak with Paul, speak direct with me, and we're going to start looking at the naming rights for the ground. Bowerfold sponsored by X, Y, or Z. Lord Tom Pendry stand, it's been in his name for certainly as long as I can remember. So maybe giving sponsor rights to Lord Tom Pendry stand, and any other piece of commercial success we can land, really, because it's all about building an entity that is sustainable going forward. I think one thing that will definitely not be visible to people is the problem with a club once you transition to new ownership. It's kind of held together financially in places by sticking plaster. There was a lot of things we weren't expecting, and I don't want to cast aspersions and say the wrong things or be disparaging towards anybody. But it took a lot of financial effort to get the club from where it was to where it is now. And Paul and I, we've discussed that and put the club back where it needed to be from a financial footing. So what we're trying to do as we move forward through the summer and into next season is actually look at sort of generating that commercial revenue, and look at the hospitality and the entertainment around the club. So again, the social club, BFE, and actually we can use those to help make the club more self-sustaining going forward. So I think that's the short-term goal.
So as we enter the last sort of 3 months of the season, we've got 6 home games left, and we've also got a couple of events coming up, and we'll be doing a lot more of those kind of things going forward. It'd be great to see people at the club next Friday for the comedy night, and also for the comedy bingo, and hopefully to get behind the lads for the final 12 games and hopefully 6 games of the season at home. Yeah,
agreed, Taryn. It's interesting because we haven't had a home game since Clitheroe, which I mentioned earlier. It still pains me. It still pains me, but we know what happened there. I think our next home game's against Runcorn in towards the end of February. Before then, we are looking how we can sort of make the club keep the atmosphere going, keep spirits going, keep the momentum going, I guess is what I'm looking for. So we have a comedy night this Friday. You'll be glad to know I'm not making an appearance. That would put a damper on everything. We have I think a comedy bingo night in March as well. And so everybody is welcome. Let's come and support the club. I think more importantly, we have something like 6 home games left. It's not very many, and we would really like a big push towards playoffs, and hopefully as many fans behind us as we can get. There is no question that all footballers, whomever the club is, they respond to support. And I think if we can drive attendance and drive support over the last 6 home games in particular, and also away, and the away crowd is fantastic, but if we can drive attendance for those last 6 home games, really get behind the team, really get behind the players, that drive for the playoffs, I think that would be fantastic. And hopefully another home game or 2 in the playoffs, and we get there. But yeah, so I'd love to see as many people as we can get supporting the team over the last few months.